Good morning, everybody. Boy, it's pretty early out here. Got out, got me a fire built in the shop, and just had our first little old super light dusting of snow this morning. So, I mean, just a little bit, but it was kind of like I walked outside, like, well, holy smoke. And I guess winter's kind of arriving. But, I can't help. Dale did an amazing video on waking a spinnerbait, and I'm going to tag on to his video a little bit. I can't help it because just this last week, I came onto a big bunch of spinnerbaits that I picked up from a fella, and it just happens to be some of these baits like he's talking about from that era of the early Charlie Campbell and the Basil Bacon time. And man, I'm not trying to steal anything from Dale here. I had to share these baits, and I thought y'all would enjoy seeing them. Some are new in the package. And I'm just gonna show them to you. Dale, if you haven't watched that video Dale did, he really got into the waking of the spinnerbait. And I'm gonna tell you, it's one of my most favorite techniques as well. I love throwing a big wake spinnerbait like that. And he did a fantastic video. There's lots of really, really great little tidbits that really matter when it comes to those spinnerbaits that he gave away in that video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I'll try to link it into my deal. I'm trying to learn how to do all that. But if not, go to Old School Bass Fishing, click on that latest one on waking spinnerbaits. It's a great video with some great information. But he talks about some of these old baits here that I just happened upon, and I'm going to share them with you. So the first one right here, and this was from the Charlie Campbell era, and it was the Blakemore CC Special, which CC stands for Charlie Campbell. These were produced and sold everywhere, Bass Pro, everything. But it's a big, like this is a 3/8 with a big single Colorado. As a kid growing up, this was my dad's favorite spinnerbait right here. Now, he liked slow rolling it, but the CC Special was his spinnerbait. He loved throwing it. I just happened to find one brand new in the package. Is that not the coolest thing right there? So they were a big single spin. Here's a couple. These were the 3/4 ounce. They'd come with the old top skirt. This one's actually been fished quite a bit. I've had this bait a long, long time. But look at that big number 8 copper blade, single, 3/4 ounce. And then this one, I don't know who made this bait, but a lot of companies were building one similar to the CC Special back in the day. But their baits always had the big round red eye, kind of the same teardrop shaped head. My dad actually owned this bait when I was a kid. You can tell he's tried to smash the head back together, everything else. They made this just like a CC and a size smaller as well. But look at that thing. Now here's one, and the packaging is just, it's hammered. And I bought this in an old tackle box. But this is a Blakemore when the wake thing really started. Now this is a Blakemore bait. Let's see here. See if I can get it. So you can kind of see there, look at that. That's freaking cool. Maybe I'll get it where we can really see it. Look at that thing. This was during the waking thing. So this is actually a 3/8 bait at a weed guard. Actually an Indiana blade. And if you notice, their blades were they weren't Indianas, but they weren't Colorados. They were just a big teardrop shaped blade on this Blakemore bait. But I want to fish with this bait so bad. I don't want to mess it up because it's vintage, but I want to fish with this thing. See, that's the tough part about getting some of this stuff. And I want to fish with them. Now, these were another company that were really popular in the Missouri area. And I remember it as a kid seeing these advertisements in old magazines back in the day. And you're gonna like these. If you're from my area, you'll know this bait. The 3J. And there's a big Waking spinnerbait. I believe these were, I think this is a 1/2 ounce. Got the big Colorado blades. Oh, vinyl skirt. Look at that. It's brand new in the package. Is that not freaking cool? Look at that. Can't tell me. I may have to dig one of these out. I'm just saying. Here's a big white one with the copper blades, just like that other one. Brand new in the package, never been opened. 3J Bait Company was, it was out of Missouri there somewhere. Shell knob. These baits were really popular in the 70s. What do they call that thing? Brush rat. Yeah, y'all know that name. Now this one they called the Super Mouse. It was like a 3/8 size, had a little bit smaller blades. Look, check out that vinyl green and yellow skirt. God, packaging was so cool back in the day. I talk about that all the time, but here's another Super Mouse in a white. Ain't that pretty? I ended up with a whole bunch of these. Now this one they called a Motor Mouse. Now it had smaller blades, 3/8 bait, no twisted eye at the top. And here's another brush rat, another big one. But yeah, that little Motor Mouse is, I know some places that'd work too. Is that cool? Oh. Let's see here, what else? In this box, I got a whole bunch of other stuff as well. We're just gonna go through that. We got time, don't we? It's snowing outside. So these were, my dad's team partner, Hewlin Nations, was sponsored by Smithwick back in the day. And they didn't call this a Smithwick brand, but it was Championship Tackle Company. It was part of Smithwick. It's a no-no spinnerbait. Now look at the line tie at the top. It's similar to a couple of Cordell made one and Rebel that had that type of deal with a swivel. Really nice, cool looking spinnerbait. I remember having a few of these when I was a kid that my dad got from Hewlin. Championship Tackle Company by Jack Smithwick and Son. This is the early days, but I got a couple of those and I was really glad to get these because the cellophane's gone off of them, but I remember my dad having some of these. So it's a no-no. Let's see what else I got here. Some different kind of buzz baits. This is a Buzz and Bug by Okie Bug. Now, early on the looked like the blade hitting the head. Oh no, it's got a rivet looking thing on the shaft there for the blade to hit. This is way before the whole clacking thing come along. But yeah, Buzz and Bug. A couple of these is Chatter Buzz by R&S Baits. I don't know where that's from, but another one of those with the head hitting the blade type of thing. So that thing was happening a lot further back than I recall as a kid. But these are pretty good looking buzz baits. I got a couple of those. This one's got a cool package. It just seems to be kind of a plain Jane old buzz bait, but Slurp It, the Snake Doctor. It's just a kind of a standard old buzz bait of some sort, but they went through a lot of effort on the packaging. Oh, there's a couple more Motor Mouses from 3J. So white with copper, man, hammered blades. Those were down in there. What else I got here? Oh, Hog Rustler. I remember seeing these spinner baits and buzz baits around. Oh, look at the cool. I mean, the effort they went through on the packaging was awesome, man. So kind of a funky dual blade design there. Never seen that before. But old school rubber skirt. I'd probably throw that. Now these were by Mr. Jigs, which was a subsidiary of Mr. Twister, I guess. But the Lunker Buzz. And I'm sure they were producing these for Bass Pro Shops or something like that in Walmart. And then, just a half-ounce old kind of a buzz bait, knock off of the Lunker lure back in the day. But that one's got a funky little weird blade. But a little 1/4 ounce and a 1/2 ounce Lunker Buzz by Mr. Jigs, a subsidiary of Mr. Twister, it says. a couple of really cool old 38 specials. Now, there early on, there was a thing with putting the thing, something over the swivel. These guys were using these big willow leaves down in Sam Rayburn and some places with grass, and that would keep the moss out of your blades. So that was kind of a thing. So just a big tandem willow leaves. I got a pair of those in there. But these are probably mid-80s, something like that. Old Strike Kings in the package. This is another cotton cordell. They just called it a spider, but I don't know if you can see it in there. Just no single spin. Really kind of crude looking long arm thing with spider legs. Hope you can see it. It's really similar to the old spider like everybody made back then. The Johnson and Bassbuster and all those. Everybody was on the same wagon, I think, you know. But cool packaging though. And this one. Now this one's going to intrigue you a little bit. And some of you might have fished with one of these. I don't know. And I want to get this out of the package, but I really don't want to get it out of the package. You know, I'm going to because it's been stapled back shut. I'm going to open it up. This was called, it's by Lunker Lure. It's called a spring bill. Now, look at that thing real close. Look at this. You see that? It's got a metal lip built into the head with a spinner arm. Have we not seen something like this over the last few years get real popular? This was, who knows, back in the 80s. People just didn't know they were on the verge of something. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Sorry, it's been out of there and stapled back shut, so I'll just staple it back shut. Y'all need to see this thing. Now, I want you to look at this. Look at this. Way before the chatterbait. Way. And I know the chatterbait has the pivoting design on the head. And then it's got a cable here with a spring attached to the head with blades on it. Folks, fishing is just circulating itself with a little bit more improved idea off of an original idea. Spring bill. Look at that. We didn't know what we had back then. I would have looked this and said, yeah, who's going to throw that thing? That's goofy. Who knew? Who knew? Cable on there, bill on the front. Probably mid-80s. Boy, I want to throw this thing, but I don't want to lose it either. Can't tell me that won't work. So, some more cool spinnerbaits. You know, I'm always coming up, you know, I can't resist every time I see a lot of old spinnerbaits out there. And in Dale's video, I was going to wait a while on doing that video with those big wake spinnerbaits, just because I did one not too long ago. But when Dale made his on the wake and spinnerbait, I just had to tag along a little bit and share some of them that I just found. Again, if you have not watched that video by Dale Burt's on waking a spinnerbait, go check it out. Dale's a great guy. He's just a person like the rest of us, and he gives up some juice with that old spinnerbait that came from that area right there, those baits. You'll enjoy it. Get you a couple out there, find you a waking spinnerbait or two. We're just now getting time of year to do it, and or at least for me. So need to get out and fish a little bit. They're biting. Fished yesterday, caught a lot of fish, and once that water starts dropping into that 50s, these fish just go crazy. So get out. You got a little time between the holidays here. Make sure you ain't just buying Christmas gifts. Take one of the days to go to the lake. We'll catch y'all later.